Hello, folks, and welcome to MotoGP Mac. We have a lot in store for this episode. Let me tell you, the shit and fur is going to fly.
Yeah, it was a gripping...
fanboys just break out your hankies because you're going to cry.
Yeah, it was a. I would class it as a very testosterone-filled race weekend.
Oh yes, it was.
That is probably the best way that I can put it. As
God save the girlfriend that's going to walk in the door after this one.
yeah. There was a lot of pent-up aggression. Like, I was sitting watching qualifying, if I'm very honest, and I was like, it's like they just got out of prison.
Yep.
Did you know what I mean? But
yes.
Yeah, qualifying. Well, we started with qualifying. That
now, folks, I am a Marquez fan. I'll tell you that right now. But I'm going to say a lot of nice things, but I'm going to say stuff that's not nice either, just because I tell it like it is. That towing business was bullshit. I mean, he's the fastest rider out in all time. I have all the respect for him for that. But did you notice when he went out? It's the first time I ever seen somebody where Mir went out and Marquez went out in Q1, right? Yeah. And no one else went out. He held up the whole paddock because towing is dangerous. That's why they don't allow it in any other class. And the other riders said, "No freaking way, we're not going out there."
They do allow towing. Like, no, okay.
No, in Moto 2 and Moto 3.
No, it's dawdling. They don't allow.
It's dawdling. They don't
dawdling,
allow.
Waiting for the tow.
Well, that comes with towing.
No. It's very separate. Very, very separate. So
well, I'm just saying, the act, though, it comes with towing. It's one of the dangerous things of towing.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's completely different. The rule that they have in Moto 2 and Moto 3 is that you can't dawdle. Oh. So what was happening? 20 riders were waiting on the track for one fast guy to go.
Right. Yeah, but that's part of towing. That's what makes one of the things that makes it so dangerous.
Yes, that's not what they were going after. They were going after the guys. 20 people waiting. That's what was causing the danger.
But you're splitting hairs. The point of the matter is it's dangerous as shit. You shouldn't tow.
Yeah. Look, it's
good for a half second. What happened if everybody did it? It would be just pandemonium. That's why none of the other riders did it. You got to give Quartararo his props because guess what? He needed a tow, right? You didn't see him. He didn't go out there. He had respect for the other riders and the other teams and said, "No, I'm not going to go out there for a tow." You know. Yeah. And one of our members said, "Yeah, but the bike's so bad that he needs to do it." That's still no excuse. I'm sorry. And like I said, I'm a Marquez fan. They should cut that shit out.
As a racer, if I needed it, I'd do it.
Well, you're a prick, but we all know that.
Yeah. I don't care. Points equals prizes. If I could start it towards the front of the grid, give me a chance to score the most points. Yeah, I'll do 100%. Do I think that it hides problems and masks problems? Yeah.
And when you're taking a bike and you're putting it way faster than it's supposed to go, and it has head shake. Christ, the Honda had head shake in practice. Did you see that?
You
didn't have head shake since 1973, and we had one. One member going. See, remember I said after I talked to you after the race, I said, watch, I'm going to have some fanboy go. See, the bike's not bad. I was went. And he said, supposedly the bike is a bad handle. I would supposedly in a supposed situation.
That bike was rocking now in most fellas' bedrooms.
Yeah, right. Things all over the place. Oh, yeah, the handle's great. Things all over the place. Yeah. It's like, Jesus God.
I have to admit, right, I take my fucking hat off to Jack Miller. What an absolute boy.
Yes.
Brilliant. Like, absolutely 100% say, boom. Now, I'm going to pour a bit of cold water on it, though, right? Like, did that lap surprise him? It fucking surprised Jack as well, right?
Right.
Even in his qualifying, he went 0.2 of a second faster than he did the day before. So like, he was on it. Fair play to him. But they need to be on it, really. Like, and I think this is kind of something that we have to understand for the whole lot of this race weekend is that they've just tested there. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, they had a 2-day test there.
Yeah.
If they didn't find something to make it work in that circuit in those 2 weeks, they're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. And the problem with the KTM, that steel trellis chassis, it's so hard to get set up. The setup has to be spot on.
Yeah, so next weekend now in Argentina, like we'll know, do they really have pace, or was it that they found something in those 2 weeks?
Well, they said they had a problem with rear grip or rear drive, and they had that arrow, but I don't think that would make up that much.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Fucking winged it on the back. But
yeah, I don't think that.
This is the mentality that I love about the likes of Aprilia, Ducati, KTM.
European.
They just saw Yamaha put that wing on it. Did they watch the B Sport video where your man said this could be
No.
Right?
No.
2 weeks later, it's on the back of the bike.
In a race.
And it was clearly just bolted on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
you can see the 3M on it, yeah.
If it falls off, it falls off. But again, you know, we saw that. I think Yamaha ran that twice. I think they ran it with Crutchlow in a test before, and they ran it at the test. And I'm like,
yeah, but Yamaha didn't run it themselves.
They did, yep.
Oh, that's right, they did. You're right. I did see it on there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It just.
But anyway, the qualifying look kind of went with Marquez and Jack. I suppose they really kind of upset the apple cart a bit within the qualifying. You know what I mean? I thought it would be a little bit more mundane and boring, but no, they did it. But a sprint race then.
Oh man! Oh, what happened? You notice something though? When you have equal bikes, in the same quality, right? You have the Ducati, you have the Aprilia, and then the KTM. You have passing. What happens? Oh, we can't pass. When the bikes are equal of quality, they can pass like they did before. The problem they always had was, well, the inferior bikes can't pass the superior bikes. Well, no shit. All you did was you cut out slingshot passing, which is dangerous as hell anyway.
Yeah, but I think just this sprint race, in my view, was the perfect storm, right? Everyone has been in prison for 3 or 4 months, right? They haven't got to ride a bike properly in anger for points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like the testosterone level and the need to get to release that is there. Secondly, who does not want to go down into an absolute legendary status of the first sprint race winner?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, true.
And then you throw in a roller coaster circuit like Portimao.
Yeah,
right?
Portimao is a rider's track.
Where you can nearly pass on nearly every corner.
Yeah. But like it's a rider's track.
I saw at one stage Bagnaia was trying to go under Jorge Martin through Craig Jones's corner, which is one of the fastest corners on the track. So it's through turn 9 up onto 10, right? And I can tell you that, right, from being at that circuit, that's balls. Even to even attempt it is fucking balls, right? But like there was a lot of people talking about the aggression shown in the race, and yeah, there was loads of aggression. And that's fucking what you want. Like you want the boys fighting tooth and nail for every single point.
Yeah, but you know what?
Did it go overboard?
Yeah.
First race of the season, testosterone is through the fucking roof.
And I'll give you that too. But Marquez, like I said, I'm his fan, but he knocked out Oliveira. It wasn't one. That was his third instance in one race. And his race was in 10 laps. You know what I mean? He was belting his way through. Even on Friday, I said, I hope he doesn't try to bang into everybody. You know what? You know what the next piece of arrow on a Honda is going to be? Because remember, Mir knocked off Quartararo, right? Then you got 3 instances with Marquez. The next arrow of for Honda is going to be a bulldozer blade, just knocking everybody through.
But okay, Mir's incident, right? Mir wouldn't have been penalized, you know that, if he wasn't on the curbs.
Yeah. Well, he hit him hard though.
No. So like, even if Mir was on the track and Quartararo came down in the top of him for the late apex, which is normally happens in that corner. If you're on the curbs, you're actually deemed to be off the track.
Yeah.
Did you like in a matter of law, right?
Yeah, right. They tell you that on briefings when you race.
So where the impact happened was just when at the apex. So that's why he was. Was it a long lap? Yes and no. It's opening laps of a race. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's a bit fucking gung ho. But look, he take the penalty. He did. But I think after that, where I was surprised at a couple of things. I was surprised with Martin and Pecco. I think, I really think actually Martin had him, but he made the mistake. I find it very interesting as well to look at the two different arrows.
Yeah, but he had pace on him though. Pecco had pace on him. He was up him, he was up his ass. He was.
What I've noticed about Pecco, and this will probably shock everyone, but I'm telling you now, go back and look at the races, right? Pecco's incredibly fast mid-corner.
Oh,
He has that Ducati turning like a Yamaha.
Better if he has for a Quartararo.
Do you know what I mean? In that style.
Yeah.
If you watch him, watch what's his name? Martin's lines. Martin's lines are still very old Ducati-esque, point and squirt. Right? And you will see it and rewatch it back, but you will see that Pecco has changed his lines to a more Yamaha. So you can see, especially through turn.
He's using more arc in his corners.
Exactly, but you see like he's fucking climbing all over the back of him. Like look at coming out onto the straight, like he comes off the turn, right? On the same sort of bike, he's already out accelerating Martin. Like he was past Martin many times before he came up the up the hill, right?
Right.
So you could see he was just carrying so much pace through the corners compared to others. Now, in the sprint, Pecco managed that. Impeccable. Like, it was fucking impeccable. He never panicked, he never feared, and he knew he had the time. All he knew is that he had to get out in front just to build a gap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
But you could see
the Jaws music was playing in the background.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But like he was stunning in fairness. I have to take my hat off to him.
This is a sprint race we're talking.
Yeah, in the sprint. And Marquez, Marquez and Miller and
Marquez rode like a demon. Oh my God.
And something, I was actually laughing, at turn 3 or turn 4 when the sprint race started. I was like, I did say that he was going to win. Imagine now if he actually fucking won it.
Yes.
Oh my God, Jody. And I'm not a Marquez fan, but
I
was just like, it is okay. He got a toe twice. I think Ducati were flaking the head off Bastianini in the thing for getting Marquez toe him, but
that's just wrong. I'm sorry. Bam.
And then he, like, the first couple of laps, everything was aggressive. It was, in my view, it was back to clubman racing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simon Crafar said that toe was good for a half a second, and he beat out Pecco by, let me think of it, 5/100th of a second.
Yeah. Listen, look. He jumped.
That toe it was everything.
Yeah, look, he would have been in around Quartararo realistically, where Quartararo.
9, 10. Yeah.
But look, fair play to him. I don't like it. It is cheating in a way, right? Because you're only masking a problem. However, on a racer side, I will do fucking absolutely anything to get as far up the green as
that's what the FIM's there for, to say, okay, you're stepping over,
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Rubbin may be racing, but this is not a demolition derby.
No, man, I often give a few fellas no kick going down the straight.
Yeah, we don't count your shit going down. You're just as bad.
Yeah. Now, I'd never touched their front brake like Fanati did, but like
he couldn't reach it. Yeah.
I know, give him a kick, all right. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, fucker. You know what I mean? Just make sure the clerk of the course doesn't see it, of course. Then onto the main event, the race.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, look, we'll talk about the Marquez incident.
No, Marquez really should have been fifth in that race. I mean, he lucked out that a couple. You know, he had one, two, three guys go wide. Okay, you just can't count on somebody going wide. He knew it was a fifth. He called it to be a fifth, and he really should have been fifth. Okay.
Yeah, in the sprint. And then I suppose
he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. Even though he had a third, he knew he has this mentality. You can see it like, okay, I'm not winning the title this year.
He already knows that. Yeah.
This is gone. This is a wash. You know?
Yeah. I think he already knows.
Oh, and it did not have a Calex chassis on there.
No, it's never. No. Calex chassis. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But then I suppose onto the main race.
Mm-hmm.
Marquez again on pole. And you do. Now, for me, one of the most fucking amazing starts was Miguel Oliveira's start. I don't know, did you see how late he was in the brakes for turn one?
Yeah.
I actually thought that.
I think he saw Jesus before he turned. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know how he made it around there, but look again. Pent up testosterone. It was brilliant. Like it was. I was like, yes, proper fight. And look, that's what we want to see. You know.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. We do want to see clean racing, clean fighting.
Yeah. And I don't mind some. If in the beginning of the race or first lap or the last laps, the penultimate lap of the race, I can understand bashing into somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when there's no holds barred. You know. But not throughout the race. That's just not. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose look, it was a brilliant race at the front up to Marquez having the incident, and so
what was he thinking? I don't know he was trying to pass two people on the inside of the apex on a second gear corner. Like, I swear to God, he was hoping he'd bash off somebody. It would make him turn like a bump him car. You know.
Yeah, and I'm going to kind of maybe shock a few people in this, right? I think hitting Miguel Oliveira was collateral damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think, and I just watched this just again before we came on, and Martin is always closing in towards the apex of the corner, right? Mm-hmm. And 100% it is Mark's fault what happened, right? He went for it, but Martin was coming in. He touched with Martin, and he had to when he touched, the front handlebar was pulled from his right hand, and you could see the body, right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't
grab it
back on the brakes again.
Yeah.
Before hitting Miguel, right?
Yep.
Now, was he wrong? 110%. Does a long lap penalty serve as consistent? No.
I think he deserved it what
I mean is that it does need to be a little bit more severe than that, because it was a stupid mistake to make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going in on the brakes, you know. But then the other side of the coin, we do want riders to go for the gap, right?
Yeah.
And we don't want to penalise them too, because Aleix Espargaro at the moment is calling for Marquez to be banned.
No. Yeah, just give him like a kid, spank him a little bit. You know what I mean? Spank him.
I think it's a 10 or a 20 place grid penalty or whatever, right? The next race. I don't think a long lap or a double long lap, especially in Argentina, is that long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a grave.
Yeah, he got a double long lap penalty for everybody.
Yeah. But look, I don't think Marquez went out to fucking torpedo anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could see he clearly hit with Martin, that pulled the handlebar out of his or away from his fingers on his right hand, and then he went into Miguel Oliveira. Did that destroy the race at the front? It did. It created a massive gap in the front. Martin went down to... So, like, in realistic terms, he did destroy two people's races. But, like, if I look at it for the sake of Quartararo and Mir, the previous day, that's a long lap penalty. That's the type of collision that will cause a long lap penalty, in my view, right? Like, that was not. That was just that was a little bit more to the extreme side of a crash. Do you know what I mean? That was a rider's fault. Now, a person did ask me, with Bezzecchi, not Bezzecchi, with Bastianini and Marini having the crash in the sprint race, why wasn't Marini given a penalty? And like, in this case, and it is kind of similar to Marquez, Marini had crashed before the bike hit.
Right. You couldn't.
So it was just, it was wrong place, wrong time, right?
Right. That's a racing incident. Like, the bike, you can't control it.
Yeah, you could argue that with Marquez and Oliveira, right? Oliveira was the collateral damage. Like, Mark couldn't. There was nothing Mark could do. He was already after crashing. He was still on board the bike, but the crash was already.
But he went in so extreme that you got to pin it on him. You know, you got to say, "Listen, it was your fault."
You have to like
that. It was his third infringement during the race. I mean, come on. In 10 laps, he had three incidents going. You know,
and look, that's the thing with Marquez, and I think that type of riding style maybe towards the end of it. Do you know what I mean? I think the bikes are so fast now; those kind of mistakes cause major incidents. But then the other side of the coin, right? If you penalise riders too heavy, then they're not going to go. They're going to wait for the safe time to pass, and they're not going to push it up. So for me, it's just very, very weird that it happens. So look, I think you have to be very open with this. Is like, did Marquez make a mistake? Yes. Is the penalty a bit light? I do believe so. But you don't want to destroy someone so that riders will never take the opportunity or have a go. Like, look at Jack Miller, Alex Marquez, Brad Binder, Johan Zarco towards the end of the
like Quartararo last year. The bike crash, he slid into Espargaro, right? You know what? That shouldn't have got a penalty. That was a bike incident, racing incident. You don't want him like paranoid to go to make a move on somebody.
No, I don't think it was an incident. He put Alex Espargaro into the gravel, destroyed it. You paid the price. You affected your crash. He was in the middle of the crashing when he hit Aleix. So I think he was a little bit earlier. I think there was the collision, and then Quartararo went.
I thought he went down, and then he hit Quartararo, and then he hit Espargaro.
I think maybe so, but I think they came together at kind of the similar points of the crash, right? And he did affect someone else's race by crashing into him. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, okay, I can vouch or kind of say that, but when you look at, say, the likes of Marini was completely off the bike when the bike hit Bastianini. Do you know what I mean? Now he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Bastianini, actually, even before the sprint race, Martin is fucking gung-ho to beat him, like fucking
Yes, he is. Yes, and Bastianini, during practices earlier in the year, during the test, he really wasn't showing the world his best. Let's put it that way.
But you have to have a look at this, right? And this is the way I see it anyway. Is that?
But he never starts fast like that anyway. Look at the year before. He does. He's not a real good guy at practice, or he's
a lap 14, 15 sort of type of rider in my view. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he comes on strong then. Do you know? But I genuinely think it's very weird that the way Martin has the engine now. The Pecco, realistically said, is the best engine, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the improvement in Martin. Now, Martin doesn't get on well with Portimao. Do you remember he had a massive crash there?
Yeah.
So that track is in his head.
But he went fast there before he crashed.
Yeah, and then he never went fast after the raid. So
well, it takes a while to get over that. If the dog bites you hard enough, you don't want to pet it again.
Oh, that's it. That's it. But I suppose where I'm going with it is that Bastianini has come up 2 levels of bike. Do you know what I mean? So he was come from the 21 to the 23. Now they're level. Do you know what I mean? So they both have the same bike, same engine.
I think Bastianini will heal up and be back because you know what? He did start going faster in the beginning of the races, and he did make a major step up in his speed, his raw speed, which really shocked me. His raw speed when he jumped up a lot. His raw speed was rocking and rolling last year.
Yeah, but we haven't seen it this year.
No, we haven't seen it this year. No,
not in the test. Yet. No, like in one of the tests, I think he finished ahead of Pecco, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's fucking game over for Pecco." But I don't know. I think Pecco.
We've been calling him right on the money this year. I'm telling you.
I am super impressed with Pecco because I genuinely didn't think. I knew he'd mature a little bit, but you know, Joe, they say about you win one championship and you're different.
Yeah, they say the same thing with a boxer. See, he's the next level. When he wins a title, he jumps up 2 levels instantly.
It's like he's 30% better or whatever it is, you know. And I don't know. I think looking at Pecco, even in both races, I think like he was never under pressure. Do you know what I mean? And he knew when he needed to go, especially like when you look at the main race today. He never let Maverick get in kind of within half a second.
Yeah, he really managed the speed on that bike and the tires really well.
You're just, I was watching it and I was just like going, he has another second in him. Easy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. He was just just running him there, and he's just like baiting him. You know? And that's smart because Maverick has a tendency at the end of the race when he has to go down sometimes when he's chasing somebody trying to make up time.
But he also tends to get faster, and I think this is what Pecco was expecting that Maverick will get faster.
Mm-hmm. And those Aprilias were looking real good.
They were, but I have to say Maverick was brilliant today. Brilliant. Can't fault him.
Yep.
I just find it very fucking weird that everyone says that Maverick's big problem is the first opening laps of the race, right? And in the sprint race, he did nothing really, right? Light bike, light petrol load, whatever. Then in the main feature race, he did fucking brilliantly. No, okay, maybe
I don't see him as somebody that's starting out in the race or going, fast in the beginning and fast in the end. He just seems to be what Maverick shows up that day.
Yeah. What fucking breakfast that he has.
That
still did well. Yeah. But look, do I think he would have been on the podium had Marquez and thing not crashed? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I think he would have. I definitely think he would have. I don't think Marquez could hold out that long. Even his manager said, I don't think he's going to hold out that long.
I still think that Pecco would have just kind of sauntered off, and there would have been a bit of a battle there for another 5 or 10 laps, and I think that's would have held them all up. But after the crash with thing, kind of gapped them all slightly. And I'm only talking slightly. I'm talking 3-4 tenths between them. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, but fucking hell, man! I have to say about Alex Marquez, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have to draw. We've all called him a tail end Charlie on the Honda last year, and okay, he was battling with Binder, Zarco.
He was a tail end Charlie. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, but like Zarco, Binder, Jack, he was in a fucking superb battle. That was for me. Yeah. That was the race to be watching. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, wow. And
the KTMs
him, and he was going fucking back at him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And they were like, but Jesus, and Marquez, that it's actually passing clean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Marquez's father's going to go home and slap his mother. Hey!
But it's no. Look, I thought he did really, really well, and
I think the surprise of the thing was the KTM of this weekend. The KTMs.
yeah,
I know they can do that and be great one week and then bad the next, but everybody says, "Oh no, the KTMs, crash." Oh no, the KTM's worse than the Honda. No, the Honda's the worst bike in MotoGP. Period.
I think
by far.
KTM have their direction. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
like there's an awful lot of positives, even to what we were saying in the weekend or before the weekend even started when I was talking about that it's a hardware fix for the rear end of the KTM.
Yeah,
right?
they have one issue. They have one issue is
Exactly.
the rear end.
They know
the
what
Honda
issue
has
is.
every issue.
Yeah, they know what the issue is, and I think that's for me is I would prefer to be in that box than in the box of Honda where we're going to fix this issue or what is the issue. Now again in the media, and I know.
By the way, the CEO of HRC was there this weekend.
Yep. Yeah. Billy Big Balls was there, boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
he did not look happy, did he? He looked like.
He fucking definitely didn't look happy when Marquez.
We spent lots of money here. Why aren't we winning?
Yeah. Another brown envelope to Dorna.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's an interesting point. We'll talk about the chassis. And I know you said that in the press conference, Marquez seemed surprised by the.
He did, yeah.
But look, let's be fair, right? They may have asked Calex to tweak their current chassis, right?
That's the only thing it fits, though, in the time frame where they're talking about May.
In their time frame, yeah. I believe maybe Calex might, so that they would understand something, but I think there's a bigger project there behind the scenes. Like realistically, and I read the same article that you were talking about because I know Sleepwalker was actually asking about it.
But what did the CEO say? He said it's going to take 9 months, even for Moto 2. It's going to take them a year, right?
For the first Moto 2 chassis, it took 9 months of development.
Right, so you got a year before that thing's going to go.
Yeah,
fast for the MotoGP chassis.
Yeah, and I think.
It's not going to happen by May, folks. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen by Jerez. You're not going to see it this year of a totally Calex chassis.
Yeah, and look, like I showed you the picture of the different Honda chassis towards or Honda swing arm towards the Calex swing arm, and the difference is massive, right, in the way of thinking, and you can see it was on. Honda's one was on the experimental bike that Marquez was running and dumped. Okay.
I was hoping to see him close. You know why? I was hoping that the Honda is going to save face, have one that's just the same, and then like do a rebranding deal. Like, oh, that's ours, which would give them a lead in to having Calex make their chassis.
That would be that would be too damaging publicly for Calex. So I mean, if Honda turned around and say, "Oh, our one is actually working," and the Calex one wasn't.
But so to save space though for Honda, okay, to say that's my swing arm, right? So you make one just like it and say, oh yeah, we did that one. Okay, that saves the PR because there's a lot of Honda fanboys going, oh, we're doing it in house. We don't need that. How they get to that assumption, I have no idea since they're so horrible. You know.
Yeah, look, I get you, but look, I also turn around and have the opinion that there's thousands of parts on that motorbike that are outsourced.
You're right. You're right.
And while it is like,
it's what they should do. It's what they're versus what they will do.
Yeah, you know? I think the correct decision for Honda is to 100% get Calex to do it.
Yep.
Even if it's just a testing exercise, they need direction. They need substance.
They need a strong engineer to do it. They're the weak. The engineering is just so weak. They need somebody else to do it for them. Period.
Yeah, look, they need help.
Period.
Yeah, look, it. Now, look, I think in my own mind, you know, maybe this conversation has already happened when they started seeing the results of of the aluminium swing arm, I personally believe that was kind of like, okay, they did what they said they were going to do. Why not get them, to have a look at the chassis, right?
Yeah, but then why did Honda make their own swing arm again?
Oh, listen.
That doesn't make sense. That they're gonna. That's not a good sign for them to go on to a Calex chassis. That was disappointing.
No, I think it was the first time in years Honda made an aluminium swing arm.
Right.
That fucker was aluminium, right? That they've made. So they've moved back from the carbon, Honda themselves, and that was their first crack off an aluminium. So for me, it was kind of like them seeing where they were or what was their understanding of the thing, and there's no better way than putting it on. I think it was pretty brave of Honda to actually do that, to see.
Right.
Okay, look, this is what Calex think. This is what we think. How far off are we?
Right.
Now,
good.
Now, if you turn around and you say, okay, well, this is our chassis, right? This is how wrong we were on this.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you know what I mean? But look, I think we'll never really fully know. There's not going to be manufactured by Calex stamp written on the fucking frame anyway.
So exactly. Exactly. That's why I didn't like them see them going to make their own swing arm again. You think once they said, okay, the Calex worked and it's been their only step forward, they would just keep going with it. Yeah. So that tells me I got a HRC exec on. We're spending all this money. Why can't we do it in house?
Yeah.
Oh, so the next best thing is to say, why can't we have? What we'll do is we'll have Calex tweak our existing chassis, which is like tits on a bull. You know what I mean? You can't make a self purse out of a pig's ear.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a pointless endeavor.
I think personally, I think that while they would absolutely 100% help in tweaking it, they don't understand the philosophy around how that chassis was constructed. So they don't know that range. And look, it would be a brand damaging exercise to take part in. In my view, if they were just to do it and tweak it. Now, look. This is nothing new for manufacturers to do. So look, I don't know what all the
hubbub is about.
Exactly. And look, there's a lot of response on the channel actually today about Marquez and was he trying to overtake or was he not trying to overtake? Was it cold tire? Was it this? Was it that? Regardless of what he was intending to do, he's done it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. He was just too rough. You know what I mean? He was just
and
too brutal. Yeah.
And it's the same with Honda's mentality of things like you've tried this, you've tried that, and you've tried the other. Now you need to try this. Do you know what I mean? And if Honda do get Calex to have a go at making a swing arm, it's probably the best decision that they're going to make. At least they're trying something different.
Yes, it's definitely the right way to go. It's the right way to go to make the whole chassis. But
even if it's wrong, right? Let's just hypothetically say
they got nowhere to go but up.
they go to Calex and they say to Calex, "We want you to build a chassis and a swing arm, for us. Have it ready for October." And they take it out, and Marquez turns around and says, "This is the biggest pile of poo ever." Right? Bin it, right?
Yeah.
At least they tried this.
At least they tried. They're doing something. They haven't. You know, when I talked to my cousin who did Boeing he was in charge of many projects. He said, you know, when you see 100, you see all these, and he's into bikes, so he goes, you see all the engineers down there, and there's too many of them. You know, you got 100, everybody's tripping over each other. So it looks like a government operation. When they get serious and they really want to get it done, they're going to take all their flunky ones out of there. Okay, instead of having numbers of 100 engineers, they'll have 20 good ones.
Yeah,
because that's going to be the tip off. When you see them get serious, they're going to have all them guys will be gone. You're going to see a small, efficient, and engineering.
Efficient European engineering team. Is that what you mean?
You racist, you.
I didn't say anything about
We can't
nationality.
we can't have equity in racing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yamaha.
Yeah.
Tough weekend. Now I have to say this though. It was a tough weekend, right? Fabio had a
surprising
problem
weekend.
Fabio had a problem with launch control in race one or in the sprint race.
Mm.
And he openly admitted in the second race I I took the wrong line into turn one and I got pushed out. Back 5 places down to 15th. Even when he rode, in my view, a really good and strong race. He had pace.
Yeah.
He had pace to hang with the leaders. But this one lap fucking problem that Yamaha now have.
Yeah, but then again, when you say he had that pace, he goes off. He goes back into the 15th. Okay.
Mhm.
And this is unique with Yamaha. Now he's all by himself. He gets that pace because he doesn't have to ride with anybody else. He doesn't have to change his lines. It's like a test. It's like the testing situation.
Yeah, but you see, where he'll be okay is with the likes of Pecco. Because Pecco isn't a point and squirt sort of rider and getting in his way. Pecco will be trying to keep that corner speed up too. Where he would ride with Marquez or Martin, he's fucked. Do you know what I mean? Because they're trying to square the corner at every time and interrupt him and whatever. But again, look, I have to say, and look, I'll call it out. Like, okay, he made balls of of the main race. Obviously, the incident with Mir and Rachel. But again, his pace was good.
The sprint, I thought the sprint race was Mir, but he didn't have an incident in the main race, did he?
He did. He went wide in turn one because he took the wrong line, and then that put him back 5 spots. And look, he admitted it, which is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I took the wrong line.
Right.
100%, right? Have to respect a guy or a rider for saying, not saying, well, someone else blocked me or whatever. You know what I mean? But, and his pace was good. Like, Franco was down the fucking back, right? Again, right? And in his post-race comment, he's like, it was a tough weekend, tough race, whatever. On the bright side, I was 6/10 off in the test, and now I'm 5/10 off, so I gained a 10th. I'm like, motherfucker, you've had 2 weeks of engineering time to work on your setups.
Yeah.
And you're happy and content that you gained a 10th of a second.
10th of a second, right. Gone.
Next.
Did you know?
Put Alonso Lopez, which Yamaha are looking at as one of their up-and-coming riders. Put him on. Do you know what I mean?
One of our members said, why can't we get rid of him? I said, that's a new diversity and equity in racing. Because he's black, he has to be. They have to give him 2 races, even if he shows up. Even if he plays his dead last, they have to give him 2 race wins anyway.
Not at all. Not at all. Get out of it. You and your fucking diversity and inclusion. No, look.
Hey, it's big in America. Trust me.
I think. Look, the reason that they can't get rid of him, and they chose to keep him on is one. I suppose Yamaha do have a little bit of faith, but 2, there's a fucking big brand behind Morbidelli, and they don't want to fucking upset that brand right now. That's my personal opinion.
The energy
VR46. No, VR46. They want that brand. They don't want to upset that brand. But look, I feel sorry for Franco. Look, and again, he is an incredible rider. He just doesn't suit that bike. Put him on a Ducati.
I don't know. I think he might have lost it with that knee. I think it's down to his knee.
I don't think so. I think that these boys get over it fairly lively.
With a knee, I've never seen, as an athlete, I never see anybody get over knees. I mean, that's the thing about a knee.
Listen, after the shitstorm we saw with Alex Marquez, right? Tail end fucking Charlie last year. No, he won't fucking do anything. He's still.
Did you notice, by the way, you have the 20-lap race, right? The main race. And it looked just like I say, with the production bikes, when they do the comparisons, it's always all the top slots are European, then all the bottom slots are Japanese bikes, right? This race, it was 1 through 7. 1 through 7 European, then 7 through 14 it was the Japanese bikes at the bottom, and Honda at the dead bottom. I said, my God, it looks like a production bike comparison again.
Yeah, it was quite. It was quite. Now, look, there's a lot of people talking about like the sprint race. People were too aggressive and all of this, and I'm like, come on,
Oh, come on. Yeah.
They all know what they're going to fucking do at the start of that race. Like, you tell any rider, don't go for a gap or don't take a chance. You have 12 laps, right?
Right.
Your tires are good for 9, right? Like, this is why I was amazed with Jack Miller. Jack Miller was the only rider to go soft, right? On tires in the sprint. Everyone
they were
was
aggressive.
medium, soft. Do you know what I mean? And Miller, like, in his fucking mind, he was just like, it's a sprint race. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to fucking attack from lap 1 to lap 12.
But he always goes soft. He does go soft a lot.
Yeah, but it was like 100%, I'm fucking going for it. Don't even try and get my way. Do you know what I mean? And he rode the sprint race like a sprint race.
And so did Binder. Binder was right there with him.
No, that was the second race.
Second race, yeah.
But Pecco rode hard the first 4 laps, tailed off, saved the tires for 3 or 4 laps, and then slowly picked up the pace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could see the mentality in the. I'm like, and then there was calls for like, oh, it should be 2 20-lap races. I'm like, what's this?
What?
British Superbikes? People were asking. I was like, no. I was like,
it's tough enough having what we got now,
right? Like, go talk to the riders, right?
And the mechanics. Everybody's leaving the mechanics out. Imagine God, they work.
But no, like, right? Talk to the riders inside in the meeting room and whatever, and say, lads, listen, you can fucking rub, but don't be beating the shit
out the hell out of each other, right? Yeah,
right. And if some rider, I see it like a nightclub, right? The bouncer tells you be good, right? You're good until you've had a few too many, and then you do something fucking stupid,
and then you screw the umbrella girl after you're done.
Well, look, that's
sounds like a nightclub.
it's old school race, no joke, but you know what I mean? It's just leave them race. Do you know what I mean? And if they fuck up or if they do something stupid, penalize them. You know?
I didn't think the 20-lap race was that much less aggressive than the 10-lap in this case tonight. The 20-lap race was pretty damn aggressive.
I know, like no, they were just calling. I think, look, again, it's the start of the season, pent up aggression, pent up testosterone. Mm-hmm. You know, it's
and a track you can last, and a track that you can pass everywhere.
That you can pass at, right? Whereas, like, if you look at, like, we've always been used to Qatar at the start. Mm-hmm. You can pass at Qatar, but you can't pass like you can pass in.
Now, Qatar is always a weird track, anyway.
So, look, for me, I just think it was a great way to kick it off. Do you know what I mean? Okay,
hell of a weekend.
We have a bit of damage for people like Bastianini, Marquez, Oliveira. They say there's no broken bones, but he was already fucked after the high side in turn 10 on the Friday. Mm. You know, we have.
He's a sore puppy.
He is. We Polo Spagro, who's fairly seriously injured with a lot of things wrong. No, he'll be okay, but have to give kind of respect out to Dorna as well. They did put in an air fence after the incident, so they did try and rectify it as best they could. I do personally know that corner, and if you go through it in a car, a van, or a bike, right, you come up and you plateau. So you do just lose all the feeling towards the back of whatever you're driving. It's not. It doesn't matter whether it's a bike or a car. Do you know what I mean? You come up over the plateau and you're like, do you know what I mean? It's like that sinking feeling in your stomach where you go over like a humpback bridge.
So, I hate downhill corners.
I know this is uphill, so you're going up and over it, but because you come up over so fast onto the plateau, you kind of get that yumpy feeling. But when he lost it, then like Miguel didn't make the barrier. Do you know what I mean? But it was just whatever way he went out the front door to rob Toby Moody's commentary of an accident. So where you're thrown over the front of the bike. That's what
you mean, out the front door. Okay,
you're thrown out the front door, and like it looks like the bike gave him a couple of belts. So look, speedy recovery to him, hopefully. But look, I think it was mega. What a weekend! Did you know?
Yeah.
So, and we have one again next weekend.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I suppose one of the couple of things that I did want to bring up, So we can't stream the timing board anymore. And so I got a couple of notifications from Dorna and that took down the live timing during qualifying yesterday. And I did email them and I got onto a lovely chap who gave me an automatic response first. So I replied to the automatic response and said, can we get serious and actually talk about this? And look, it's as simple as this, is that Dorna are starting to clamp down on any of the APIs out to the public. That's the dashboard that we were using for qualifying. That source does come from Dorna, which is owned by Dorna. So they said we're not going to allow people to use it, so therefore you don't have permission to use it. So look, it's fine. I just was talking to him a bit further and he said, look, in your particular case, it was other channels actually reported you.
What a dick.
So we have I have an idea of kind of who it was. They didn't give me any information, or no one gave me any information, but I have.
Yeah, it's a guy. It's insane. That
Anyway.
asshole. Yeah.
So look, what that means is for any channel now, there is no streaming of dashboard, audio, video, whatever. So we'll probably need to come up with different ways of doing things. I have a couple of ideas.
Smoke signals.
Sleepwalker has given me a couple of thoughts, and I haven't even told you yet, Jake. So
Okay.
but again, we're going to ask the fans as well, as like what would they like, especially on race weekends when there's a lot of hype and people are pumped about things. So what would you like? We can't do anything that shows Dorna data.
We can't announce either.
I don't know. So these are kind of a couple of the things that we need to kind of talk about. So we will.
Not that they wouldn't ban us for language, probably for that one.
Yeah, we probably get done for that too. Yeah, to be fair. Like, can you imagine the reaction there with Marquez? The Marquez reaction, it would definitely be like, yeah.
What were you thinking?
Yeah. So look, we will 100% come up with something else and a new way of pushing the boundary. And I suppose, look, I'm not going to be pissed off or mad at Dorna, right? And look, I'll be very fair and very honest in this, is that if someone was trying to take my property or my
right, I understand where we can understand where they're coming from.
I would 100% be pissed off and file a copyright claim, you know. So look, it's not something that I'm going to be creating a video like I know a certain other channel did, blaming Dorna.
Yeah,
me taking.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So look,
everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So look, I'm not even going to go down that road and do it. So now the other thing that I do want to talk about was that a couple of weeks ago, do you remember we talked about the fantasy league? So I've created a fantasy league in MotoGP where you have $10 million and you can pick a couple of riders, a bike, and a manufacturer. And I think we'll come up with a prize at the end of the year for the winner. Now, below in the description of this very video will be the link or the code to get into the MotoGP Fantasy League that I created for the MotoGP Mac fans. So we're going to do that. It's kicking off next Sunday, so you're going to need to be quick and sign up and try and figure it out. It's pretty easy, actually, to be honest. Even I did it in 5 minutes. And the only crux to this championship, right, is that it's a one and done deal is the way I want to do it. So you pick your riders at the start of the year, your manufacturer and whatever, right, and you don't change.
That's the way it should be. Yeah.
The only time that you could change is, let's just say we had a Marquez issue this year where he went off for 6 months.
Right.
But I mean, you could get, okay, you can get another rider and you can't be handicapped for 6 months. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what we're going to do. I think it'll be good fun. We'll come up with a fun prize as well to get that done. Argentina next week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. No. I think it's going to be more or less. I can see the Aprilias are going to keep challenging the Ducatis more and more. They were really looking good. And if the KTMs are, Christ, if they're 3/4 of what they were this weekend, they're going to be right up there with them too.
Do you know who was the fastest down the chute this weekend?
KTM.
Brad Binder.
Yeah, that's a shot. So I guess they didn't go with the big bang motor. It's the big bang motor, you lose horsepower.
But they were slow in the test, right? And Yamaha were 336 and Ducati. No, that was qualifying. I actually think Ducati and KTM nearly hit 340. I can check it there actually.
You know what surprised me? Remember we thought it, and Simon Crayford agreed with us. He thought the same thing. I thought the Yamahas would be faster. I thought they'd have that bike cranked up for this weekend, and the next one at least.
Yeah, but remember they're running the high drag.
Right, but they had the high drag, which would mean you need more horsepower. They had that engine cranked, right?
Yeah,
so you're saying even well, no, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I think it's still fucking cranked, but
it just ain't going with the high, with the big arrow. It's just not going. It's the same bike as last year, so we're saying, except they got what, an inch and a half longer. They said.
Fabio is running
the longest Yamaha ever in history, or some ridiculous thing.
Yeah. So fastest down the chute overall the whole weekend. Johan Zarco 350 kilometers an hour. 350.
Didn't I tell you that the Honda, the guys that are going to hold a little bit? They're going to come out faster in the race.
That was in warm up. Okay. Who was slowest? Do you think?
I know it has to be a trick question because you say obviously it would be Yamaha. It's not KTM. It wasn't Ducati. Said it leaves Yamaha. Christ, say Honda. Just for as a trick question.
Johan Mir.
Yeah.
Johan Mir, 339 kilometers an hour.
That's surprising because Honda has power. They've always had the power.
Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah.
In the race today, 346.1.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. He was faster than Bagnaia, who was also on. Well, he wasn't. He was the same. Free practice. That Bagnaia hit 346.1 in free practice. So that Yamaha is turned up, even with the high drag on. But again, you see it by Johan Zarco's. 350. Yeah. There's still pace.
Cal, can ask you a question though. How many laps was that? 346.
This is just the top speed for the event.
Right. It doesn't show how many he was doing. Right. It didn't show if it was a consistent 346 or not. Okay.
No.
Just curious.
Yeah. No. This is just the maximum speed over the weekend. But look, I just thought it was interesting. Yamaha are there or thereabouts, so the engine is definitely turned up.
Yeah, but Simon Crayford did say it. He goes, "No, they're gonna crank it up, but I don't think they're gonna be able to hold out. Leaving it that way." Simon does call it like he sees him. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, look, it's fair. It was fair enough. I think definitely it'll be interesting, and I like the fact that we have this event. It's called Event Maximum Speed PDF that's on MotoGP.com, and you can actually see the top speeds and when they set them. So what session was their top, so like if someone was in the race and they didn't set that top speed, that means they were fairly slow in the race. And I think Pecco was actually probably the slowest in the race, which makes sense because he was out front the most. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was setting pace. He was. I don't think he was going for it that whole race. He just set pace and set pace and set pace. I didn't think he was going balls to the wall.
Now, Binder wasn't that quick in the straight line either, which I find funny. In the race is what I mean. Like he didn't beat his free practice time of 346.1.
By the way, Mac, what happened to Rins?
Rins, I don't know. Actually, he was like Mr. Invisible today, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got pitched off in the first in the sprint race. I
Yeah.
think he got pitched off in the second too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, I
Got eaten alive.
yeah, look, it was pretty aggressive. Both races were pretty aggressive, to be fair. But like, I don't know, it wasn't his best weekend. He doesn't have any points, obviously. So
Stock and bandages.
yeah, he didn't actually crash. So you know,
Yeah, he did. First race he crashed. First race, everybody but all the
did.
Hondas, but Marquez crashed in the sprint race.
Yeah, so it's yeah. Look, it's. I think it's a bit immaterial. From like he finished 10th in this one, I think, or is that championship center? No, it's 10th. Yeah, he's 10th in the championship. He's ahead of Mir. That's all you want to be. You know what I mean? And Nakagami is So look, all in all, I think it was pretty good weekend. Do you know what I mean?
He forgot to tell the people what happened. What's with Mark for his hand?
So yeah, look, he has. I think he hurt his knee and his hand. So, yeah.
It just came across on GP1. I have it flash and just said he doesn't know if he's going to make Argentina.
Yeah, so his hand is in a cast. He's going to get it seen to tomorrow in Spain. He hurt his knee and he's damaged his hand in some way, shape, or form. But it's not. He doesn't know yet. He's like.
Question for you,
Yeah.
You personally, because you know the rules better than I do. If he opts out, doesn't run in Argentina, now does that long lap penalty go on to Coda?
It goes on to his next race. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that was him going. Oh, I know what to do. Not going to do well there anyway. I'm not showing up.
Yeah, no. It follows him to his next event. So whatever it is.
Marquez does not look happy though. He is not happy. Not looking at the camera. He is like,
Yeah. No, it's a serious problem for him now.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to hit the. He's going to be looking for manufacturers in 2024.
I think he's already looking.
Yeah.
I think the minute that he dumped that experimental bike from Honda, he was like, fucked.
Yeah, they rolled it in. He's like, with no arrow, he's like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I can actually genuinely, like, I know people look at that as a really bad thing. I was looking at that quite as a good thing. I was like, they're trying to understand the pure basics of this bike.
Yeah, but
you can't get anything any worse than this. That like
I was gonna say, but from a prospective, are we going to win? It's a very bad situation when you see that some rolling in without an arrow. You know they're really screwed.
Yeah, but let's be very fair. There's not a lot of people, even last year, believed that Honda would be able to sort this out.
Are you kidding me? Read up all the Honda fanboys. They're going to have it fixed by next week. Okay. How many? It's not really that bad. How many times you have to hear it? They must go in. I swear to God. How can they not figure out that the thing's a piece of shit? Are they just going like this, going, I don't hear it, I don't see it, this can't be happening. No. As the announcer's going, the Honda's a pig. Every 5 minutes. That's what amazes me. Like,
but listen, look, the fans are fans, and look, if they want their bike to be the best bike in the world, that's fine. I'm just saying, feeling fairly sane now.
But if you're looking at a girl and she weighs 300 pounds and looks like a gorilla, how do you make her look beautiful? How do you look at her and go, oh, she's beautiful? Same situation.
Pints.
Yeah.
You're asking that to.
That's how are all the fanboys sitting there getting three sheets to the wind and going, yeah, it's a great bike. Yeah, it handles like a dream. God. The bike was like shimmying. I could see him riding. I felt so bad for Marquez. The bike shimmying and sliding, and the thing's all twisted up. I'm going, he's going to go down. He's going to go down. He's going to go down. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I think that's kind of enjoyable to watch. Do you know what I mean? His skill set.
Oh, his skill set is he is the best.
Must be a fucking nightmare to ride, but it's great to watch.
I'll tell you what, though. Honestly, everybody says, "Well, he's going to go to Ducati." The downside of that is he goes to Ducati. It's going to be boring because you know he's going to win every race. It's going to be a race for second. That's the downside of him going to Ducati.
I think we could have that this year already.
What? Do you think Pecco's going to dominate to the point where it gets, like it's a race for second?
I think we could have like what's happening in World Superbikes, right? That you have Bautista. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing it in any way, but kind of like the bike is so good. That's no one's fault, right?
Yeah.
The bike is so good. I'm now expecting Bautista to win.
Yeah, but like I said, performance finds its own level. You don't ban or hinder them.
It's not.
You just let the other manufacturers will bring it up eventually. They're going to bring it up.
All I'm just saying is that I have an expectation now at any circuit that they go to in World Superbikes that Bautista should be winning, and it's a surprise if he doesn't.
I don't know. I think
we're six.
I think the bikes are pretty close in World Superbike.
I think we're six races in. He's won 5.
Yeah. We're really at 2 tracks, so I always take it by tracks.
Is it 2 or 3?
No, second. He's playing one race. There's been 1 race in World Superbike. What are you talking about?
2. No, we had Australia.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? There was definitely another one. I'll check it up there.
I'm going senile. I'm just hitting my head.
There's too much races on. There's too many races on. And this is what it was. So round 1. So there's been two races on. Sorry. I correct.
That's right. You're right. There has been 2 races. That's right.
There's been two races on, and he's won 3 out of 4 races.
Yeah,
it's the same difference. Do you know what I mean? So look, I'm kind of like when we go to Holland next, or the Dutch TT, or the Dutch one, he should win it. Do you know what I mean? It's a surprise if he doesn't, in my view, and we just have to watch that. You know.
You know what else I like though? It's not to change the subject. Last year you said, I don't put too much work on you. We were going to check out like a competition of the second riders. Remember that? You're talking about that? I think that would be very interesting.
You see,
like a second round or second rider tally competition.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I can certainly build something that we can do that you submit your second riders. See, there's a couple of teams there where who is the second rider. So, like, let's just say, okay, kind of thing in the Ducati thing kind of has kind of helped that. So, like, for many people, Bastianini would have been the top rider rather than Pecco. Or, if you look at Aprilia, Maverick is the top rider over El Capitan, right?
Right.
So, it's kind of, I think we need to, and it's very hard to define those riders. So maybe what we'll do is we'll let it play out for a couple of races, and we'll say, okay, whoever's riders are in second position, or the lower riders after 4 races, we'll do it. Right. And then we'll do the Riders' Cup, and we'll do.
But then again, you always just say, like, if you go by seniority, you always have Bagnaia was there first, then you have, the Capitan Espargaro, but first, and then he would be the number 1 rider. That type of thing.
Yeah, and then we can do something, but I think I think you're right. I think it'd be funny to figure it out. Yeah. So we're going to be back again next week for Argentina. Hopefully there'll be a bit of drama too in Argentina. Safe drama, everyone gets home safe and so on. But
right,
maybe a couple of bumps and bruises.
Just some good racing,
Good,
hard. And we have a World Superbike race coming up. Not next weekend. I think weekend after that. Yeah.
In what is the next weekend? Christ, it is next. Is it? No.
See, I can't see anything else. I have one screen.
No. Our next Superbike round is the 21st and 23rd of April. Now, just so people also know, World Superbikes is owned by Dorna. So the same copyright and infringements that will be going on, unfortunately.
We're just too good. We're scaring Dorna.
Yeah, well, look,
especially if we went to announcing, they'd really shit themselves for that.
Yeah, look, I think I have been checking yesterday and today since they took people down. There are more and more creators being taken down over the thing. I've seen a lot of posts from other creators in the field. Again, I don't have anything against them. They're protecting and their right to protect their product. I will be taking down any videos that people put up. So it's just, I suppose, look, it's just disappointing. Not everyone has access to the GPs, and just that was my only question. I have to say the Dorna representative that I was talking to was very nice, very open, great chat, Joe, and it wasn't fuck you.
Right.
Joe, what I mean, it was like, this is why, and they explained the whole lot of it. And that's fair enough. Joe, what I mean, you can't
Yeah, you can't blame them. Yeah.
Joe, what I mean, so
it's just the schmuck the schmuck that freaking dimes us out. That's just being an ass.
Well, look, that's just unfortunate that some people
can't compete.
No, just don't like seeing other people succeed or grow, or
right.
they want to try and keep the market to themselves, and just for me, it's just not worth putting the channel at risk. So we won't be doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you sound like you're going to get arrested there. They found you, Dorna found you, Jake.
Story of my life.
That's it. But I think we'll wrap it up there for this week. We'll be back again next week. Hopefully, Gas Racing will be joining us next week. He sent.
Come on, Gas, get on there. Yeah.
He sent his apologies this week. He was actually working today when we were filming, so he's going to be here next week, and we'll talk about the Argentinian sprint race and main race. So we'll see everyone next week.
Take it easy, folks.
Have a good one.